I think so, to speak for the people.
Unfortunately, we can't rely on corporations or whoever the bosses are to necessarily be fair to the employees.
If we didn't have labor unions, we'd be back in the positions of the 19th century where the laborers were locked into the place for 12 hours a day and paid $3 an hour.
Do you think that workers need to be concerned about artificial intelligence?
Sure.
And taking their jobs?
Don't you?
Should workers be worried about artificial intelligence?
Oh, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. All of us have to be concerned because technology is taking over.
Maybe some of the work computer will take, like the designing and stuff like that. But with the beam and the bricks and stuff, they can't fix that.
Woman force workforce is the best. Anyhow you do it. You can't replace human being with computer system, with science. You can't.
Should people be worried? Absolutely, because technology will continue to create that displacement, and we as a society should do a better job of helping people who get displaced.
We should, because once that becomes a part of the daily life, then we're all out of a job.
Are you worried about that?
Yes.
It's back to school and back to reality.
And we're here to get you back to your morning routine.
Wake up to stories to help make getting back to class easier. From free haircuts to understanding the curriculum. It's back to school week. All this week on CBS 2 News This Morning.
We're inside some of the busiest communities on Earth, streaming the news that matters to you.
Every year, because of light pollution, we can see less and less of the night sky.
The Milky Way is gradually disappearing from view. Many of the fainter stars are disappearing.
It's one of the few kinds of pollution that you could solve immediately. Now I'm going to take you here to one of the darkest places in America where you can still see the dark, dark sky, and the views are amazing.
Protecting our night skies, Monday at 5:30.
I can't imagine a world where my grandchildren just couldn't see the stars.
Goalie gets you so close to your goals, you can actually taste them. Simply start with bite-sized steps, like these Goalie ashwagandha gummies. Tastes like my wind up is about to wind down. Goalie, taste your goals.
Introducing Catchy Comedy.
Catchy, huh?
It's America's new front row to fun.
You just keep on laughing.
Watch Catchy Comedy on Broadcast Channel 5.5, Fios 496, and on Comcast.
Here's why you should switch from Google to DuckDuckGo on all your devices. DuckDuckGo comes with a built-in search engine like Google, but it's private and doesn't spy on your searches. And DuckDuckGo lets you browse like Chrome, but it blocks cookies and creepy ads that follow you around from Google and other companies. And there's no catch. It's free. We make money from ads, but they don't follow you around. Join the millions of people taking back their privacy by downloading DuckDuckGo on all your devices today.
The Labor Day appliance sale at PC Richard & Son. All the brands you love, all the brands you want, up to 35% off. Plus, get up to $1,000 in additional savings when you buy an appliance package. It's the appliance sale you've been waiting for at PC Richard & Son.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more, and bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Or current qualified lessees can get this Equinox for around $239 a month. Or get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Equinox models when you purchase.
Goalie gets you so close to your goals, you can actually taste them. Simply start with bite-sized steps, like these Goalie ashwagandha gummies. Tastes like my wind up is about to wind down. Goalie, taste your goals.
It's the birthplace of college football, Rutgers University, and the Scarlet Walk is the path to another Big Ten season for Greg Schiano and the Scarlet Knights. Nothing like opening the season in front of the home smiles. The opponent, Northwestern, navigated by first-year interim head coach David Braun, who is wide-eyed and ready to go. The Big Ten is on CBS, and we are in Piscataway, New Jersey, where this afternoon the Wildcats of Northwestern are in town to take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights on a hot Sunday afternoon. Hey everybody, I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Jason McCourty. We'll hear from the pride of Georgia State University, Tiffany Blackman, a little later on. It is exciting to have you here with us at CBS. It must be cool to be in your own backyard.
Oh, it's awesome to be back home. But I think, Tom, more importantly, it's so cool to be doing it alongside you. Let's have fun today.
Appreciate it, buddy. All right, so obviously from a football standpoint, there's a lot of storylines. And we'll begin with Northwestern. Now, this past offseason, Northwestern's program was upended this offseason for allegations of hazing and mistreatment. The university first opened an investigation last December after a complaint was made against the football program. And as a result, on July 7th, head coach Pat Fitzgerald was suspended for 2 weeks without pay. He maintains he had no knowledge of the behavior. But on July 10th, just 2 days after the student newspaper, the Daily Northwestern, published a former player's account of the alleged misconduct, the school fired Fitzgerald for, quote, failure to know and prevent significant hazing, end quote. Now, the Wildcats take the field under interim coach David Braun, who was hired as defensive coordinator in January and has never been a head coach at any level. The school is facing 20 lawsuits across multiple sports and has hired former U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch to lead a new investigation into the athletic department's culture. Now, from a football standpoint, what are these young players going through?
2 words come to mind: relief and excitement. For these guys, getting an opportunity to get out here on the football field to play a game that they grew up loving will allow them to get away. And then it's just so exciting for them. There's going to be so many emotions as they take field. And for them, you have to separate it and channel it to be able to execute play in and play out.
Well, they're channeling a lot of different things, including a change at quarterback, which we'll get to in just a moment. But for more on Northwestern, let's go to Tiffany Blackman.
Tom and Jason, the Wildcats players and coach will try to move forward together. Linebacker Bryce Gallagher, he told us that the team's leadership council took it upon themselves to help their teammates stay focused, to build relationships and check in on those younger teammates. Their coach has leaned on them, and they have leaned on their coach. David Braun told us that when he was named the interim head coach, he held one-on-one meetings with each of the 103 players that stayed. He told us that he wanted to listen and be present. And now as they get ready to play their first game, his message to the team: take a breath, stay poised, and do our best this season, guys.
Yeah, he was pretty impressive when he talked about those meetings with the players, and he was also impressive when he talked about the quarterback the competition. Now, Ben Bryant won the job. He's pretty good.
Yeah, going against Brendan Sullivan, he said Bryant as a leader, as soon as he stepped foot on campus, guys have gravitated towards him and wanted to learn from him. And then offensive coordinator Mike Bajakian talked about his arm talent, his ability to throw the deep ball, but the touch that he has on those second-level passes to squeeze in between those linebackers and those safeties. He should be a lot of fun to watch.
All right, so here come the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Now, this is a big show, as we all know, as they roll out into SHI Stadium, getting ready for this afternoon's ball game. They're coming off a year in which they were 4-8. They're trying to reestablish themselves here in the Big Ten under Greg Schiano. So, as the smoke clears and the officials come out on this hot afternoon for football, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights in front of what they're expecting to be a loud and capacity crowd. Here come the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. A lot of anticipation during the home opener, particularly here at Rutgers. And they have a quarterback situation that they have solved as well. And as we take a look at our Do Project Smarter, brought to you by the Home Depot, we take a look at Gavin Winston.
They really love Gavin's arm talent. They said he can make every single throw on the field, and we saw glimpses of that last season. Here against Michigan State, he's throwing the deep ball, squeezes it right between 2 defenders for a touchdown pass, and then he comes back right here. His vision on a quick RPO to be able to find where the defense Fuentes and squeeze it right in there to his receiver, Cruikshank, on a crucial first down pickup. There's some things that they want to see him improve on from last season, and that's those predetermined throws, not knowing before the snap where he wants to go, actually letting it develop.
Well, I'll tell you what, his leadership abilities are outstanding. That's the one thing that his teammates talked about, but also that the coaching staff talked about as well. Well, it'll be Northwestern and Rutgers. The Butterflies, they're there. But so is the kick, the Big Ten on CBS. The Big Ten on CBS is sponsored by Dr. Pepper, Buffalo Wild Wings, Liberty Mutual Insurance, and by the Home Depot.
On a spicy Fansville.
Welcome back to Chuck's Take, where I lock myself in a room and I yell about sports. Hot take. Punting is for losers. Hot take. Hot take. Hot take. Let's go back to leather helmets.
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Today, I'm doing the Degree Gray T-shirt challenge. Let's put Degree Advanced and Old Spice to the test and see if I get any sweat marks.
Final result? Only one winner here.
No sweat marks.
Degree Advanced keeps working when others stop.
Go! The Amazing Race. New season, September 27th on CBS.
Getting the right new windows with Pella was simple.
Yeah, when renovating a drafty old house, it can be hard to find great people.
Our dedicated Pella advisor was a godsend.
We had confidence in Pella. They sold over 5 million replacement windows and doors.
So we knew our local team would be on top of every detail.
And the installation was done in just a day.
Mom, the kitchen sink's broken again.
I wish Pella did plumbing.
Hurry, replacement windows are on sale now. Schedule a free in-home consultation for details.
Six Flags' biggest sale of the year is finally here. For 13 days only, save up to 70% off season passes, single-day tickets, and more. With a season pass, you'll get access to Hurricane Harbor and our most popular events like Fright Fest, Oktoberfest, and more. All for up to 70% off. So don't wait. You have until just September 5th to get in on our biggest sale of the year. Visit sixflags.com for more information. Step out on the town and play Lock It Link Nightlife with special features like free spins, multipliers, wilds, and more. Sign up now and we'll match your first deposit up to $1,000 in casino bonus funds only at GoldenNuggetCasino.com.
Lab Diamonds Factory Direct. 3-carat diamonds are just $29.90. 5-carat FVS2s $59.90. 1-carat studs $5.99. 2-carat $14.90. The Jewelry Exchange will beat anyone's price on Lab Diamonds, period. The Jewelry Exchange, Hackensack.
I can't imagine a world where my grandchildren couldn't see the stars.
Is a presentation of the Big Ten Conference.
Change is in the air. It's the inaugural season of the Big Ten on CBS.
We're excited. The players are excited.
The sounds of college football.
You want atmosphere? We got atmosphere.
What a feeling it is. That means it's game time.
Well, here we go.
Diving to the end zone. Touchdown.
How about that? Open field and a touchdown. Well, back here at SHI Stadium in Piscataway, New Jersey, we get set for the opener for Rutgers and Northwestern. They're expecting a capacity crowd. It is warm today here in New Jersey. Take a look at it because it's a storyline. 84 degrees. It feels like 94. In fact, both coaches talked about that, how it's sort of a change to what the temperatures were this past week for both of these teams, practicing in Chicago, but also practicing here in Piscataway.
Especially going into that first game. Guys are still getting their conditioning under them. Depth's going to be an important part today.
Rutgers is going to receive to start this off, and Rashad Rochelle calls for the fair catch. So time now for our starting lineups presented by Papa John's. And there's been a lot of talk about Gavin Wimsatt, the starting quarterback for the Scarlet Knights. He was named early, and that gave him a chance to not only establish leadership, but also establish his presence in the pocket.
And that's been different for him. Last year, he was rotating in and out. You had guys like Evan Simon, Noah Federal, who were out there competing with him. He learned early on, you are the guy. You're the leader of this offense. And his teammates have backed him up and supported him. And I think that has given him a huge confidence boost going into this season.
And by the way, one of the adjustments for Rutgers, we were wondering about who was going to be the starting center. It's Gus Zelinskis, the junior from Colorado, who is going to be the starting center this afternoon. Kyle Munungai is in the backfield. They start with 3 receivers. On first down from the 25-yard line. Munungai shifting a little bit. And off the play fake, he'll throw right away. Pass is complete to Isaiah Washington. And he stopped after an 8-yard gain.
The one thing we wanted to see going into this game was what were they going to do with Gavin? How much were they going to be able to let him loose? And I think this is a huge point of allowing him to throw the ball on the first play of the season. A play action, get him outside the pocket and allow him to find an open receiver.
And by the way, these 2 corners that Northwestern has are very good. Hollis and Johnson at the corner position are very good for the Wildcats. On second down, they hand the ball off, and it goes right to Munungai, and he stopped short of that first down. Sean McLaughlin, keep an eye on him also. He made the tackle for Northwestern.
Yes, one of those veterans for them has played a lot of football for Northwestern. Going into a third down, this is a situation where if you're Rutgers, you lean so much on this backfield. You want to set the tempo early on in the first game to say, hey, we need 1 yard. We're relying on our offensive line, and we're handing the ball off.
Third down and 1. Keep an eye on Bryce Gallagher from the linebacker position. He's number 32. He's right there in the middle. 100 tackles last year for the Wildcats. They hand it off to Munungai, and he battles through. He's got the first down up to the 37-yard line. All right, let's take a look at the starting offense for the Scarlet Knights. We mentioned that center position, how it was sort of up for grabs. We weren't sure if Ireland Brown would start there. But how about Johnny Langan, the former quarterback?
Johnny Langan can coach the team at this point. He's played every position from quarterback to tight end. He's their do-it-all player on that offensive side of the ball.
First down for the 39-yard line of the Scarlet Knights. Opening drive. And Wimsett assessing a little bit. Off the play fake, throws to his left, and it's incomplete. Was there an early hit? Garnett Hollis was there on the coverage. It'll be second down. Again, they're really good at that corner position.
Really good at the corner position. And this right here is anticipation. You look out here on the outside to the left of your field. That cornerback right there, he is reading this, and he is watching Gavin Wimsett's eyes and trying to see where he's going. Hollis Jr. does a great job right there, reading and reacting and putting a hit, not allowing Dremel to pull that ball in.
All right, so second down and 10 for the 39. Same front for the Wildcats. 4-man front. Off the play fake again. Wimsett looking to throw, rolling from the pocket. He'll just throw it away. And a flag comes in. The flag came in from the far side of the football field. And here's Jerry McGinn, the referee, who will let us know who the penalty is against. An eligible receiver.
Receiver downfield, offense, number 51. Penalties decline, third down.
All right, so it'll be third down. Let's take a look at the defense for Northwestern. And again, they're led by these linebackers, Gallagher and Mueller. These 2 guys are outstanding, and they're really close friends, too.
Bryce said they spent a lot of time together outside of the football facility, getting a chance to know each other. And Bryce talked about how this game was so important for them to show everybody how they've come together as a team.
He's assessing on that defensive line. It'll be third down and 10. Last year, Rutgers 28% on third down opportunities. The Scarlet Knights have said they needed to improve on that. Pressure's coming, middle of the field. Pass is complete to Langan. Now, he's going to be short of the first down, but it's kind of decision time. Gallagher and Mueller were both there.
This is going to be a big one for them early on in the season, right at midfield. I think for Coach Schiano, you want to be aggressive in this situation. Things haven't turned out the way you want these past 4 years. This is a Big Ten opponent, a way to start this season, and you give your guys confidence early on to go for it on fourth down and say, hey, I believe in us, especially like I alluded to earlier with the backs that they have.
And the other side of the ball, I mean, you look at it, there were 12 of 17 completions on fourth down last year against Northwestern. It's fourth down and about a yard. Langan's in motion. They hand the ball off. Monungai has the first down, powers his way inside Northwestern territory, and is down to the 44-yard line. Devin Turner eventually gets credited with the tackle.
Such a good pickup right here. Rutgers relying on that run game. And we're going to see Gavin Wimsatt bring Johnny Langan in motion and try to distract those guys on the Northwestern defensive side of the ball. And that allows him to squeak through and pick up the first down.
All right, so first down for the 44-yard line. Under center is Wimsatt. Will we see him under center that often today?
I don't think so. Every once in a blue.
He'll hand the ball off. He gives it to the freshman Benjamin, and Benjamin gets down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Now, again, the rule changes are going to impact both of these teams. Here it is. The clock will continue to run when offense gains a first down, except with less than 2 minutes remaining in the second and fourth quarters. Probably 8, 9 more plays a game, maybe?
Yeah, and I'm intrigued to see how offensive coordinators use this to their advantage. Do they go even faster to try to put the defense on their heels, or slow it down to try to execute a little bit better?
Yeah, David Braun wasn't sure how much he liked it from a defensive standpoint. Here's Benjamin again, the freshman, and he doesn't get anything. He's stopped by Turner, who comes up to make the tackle.
We should see a lot of the freshman Benjamin. We talked to Cosciano yesterday, and he said, hey, this kid can really play. As soon as he got on campus, there was something about him, a little bit of an it factor, what he talked about, that you can tell right away that he is going to be special. So they're going to try to get him involved early on in this game, especially as a true freshman, to get his feet wet.
Well, here's the third down situation. 28.5% last year, which was 5th worst in FBS. I feel like every team wants to improve on third down from year to year. They're down at 5. Wimsatt looking to throw. Throws to his left, and it's nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Turner was there, and it seemed like it was a busted route.
Looked like a little bit of confusion between Gavin and his wide receiver right there. He was thinking one thing and he wasn't. And you're going to see right here, that's up top. He's looking to his left, and we're going to show right here. And he goes to make this pass, and it just seems like they're on different pages, him and Chris Long. He's thinking he's running it deeper, and you've got to be able to come away with that interception in that standpoint when he throws you the ball.
All right, so fourth down. Rutgers going for it again. They had a shorter attempt earlier in this drive. Fourth down at 5 from inside the 40. Wimsatt looking to throw again. He's dancing in the pocket. He's being pressured. He throws across his body. It's complete. Christian Dremel out of bounds with a first down. And maybe that's a little of the maturation of Wimsatt.
Definitely his ability right there to buy time and still look down the field. Northwestern playing a little bit of zone, and this is the toughest thing as a defense. When a play starts to break down, keeping your eyes on those receivers, and we call it plaster. All plaster means is find a guy in your area and attach onto him and take him away as a threat for their quarterback. There they weren't able to do it. Gavin going to his left makes a really good pass.
Is that a frustrating situation for a D-back?
Extremely frustrating. Yeah. You want to yell at your defensive lineman on that one.
So first down from the 22-yard line. Again, Wimsatt to throw. He's dancing in the pocket, lofts it to the near side, and overthrows his intended receiver. That was good coverage, though, by Northwestern. Kind of left everything unopened.
Really good coverage down the field as Gavin is looking for somebody to get open. We're going to see right here, and Washington looks like he thinks the play is a little bit different, like he's going to block, and then he's, oh, I got to find a guy to get open. And he's looking for Chris Long, who's skating across the field. I got to imagine they're looking for Washington and Long to both cross on that play. Maybe a little bit of a breakdown. Northwestern taking advantage and keeping those guys covered up.
It'll be second down from the 22-yard line. Benjamin, the freshman, back in for Rutgers. They'll hand it off to him. He'll run left. He's got quick feet, and he spins down inside the 20 to about the 16. Devin Turner's been busy. He was there to make that initial hit for Northwestern. A Northwestern team last year that won just one game, and it wasn't even in the States. So they not only had the coaching change to deal with this year, but they also had a one-win season they had to deal with.
It's been about 600 and something odd days since they've been able to have a win in the United States, and the last one was actually against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. So both teams going into this one thinking that they have a great opportunity in front of them to get a Big Ten win.
They're down at 3. Trips to the bottom of your screen. And now a man in motion. Little misdirection. They hand it off to Benjamin, who plows over his right guard. He's got another first down. He's going to get down to the 11-yard line. Gallagher was there to make the tackle.
Bryce Gallagher right here on the edge does a really good job of coming in to make the tackle, but you have to give Benjamin credit.